We here at the Kamen Saloon Rift Tracks always support any and all that are involved in the creation and distribution of any show we feature, and will encourage any of those watching to support the official release. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you pre-recorded from our internet couch, this is the Gaming Saloon Rift Tracks for November 21st, 2015, with your host, Facemaker2448.
And wrap it up, Saloon.
Hey, it's our pre-Black Friday Saturday TGSR, where we're not going to talk about Black Friday deals because,
Yeah.
We have a TGS on Black Friday, and it's just like, we could talk about Black Friday deals, but...
What good is it really going to do us?
Nothing. Even though I still think our highest view content is the fucking Arc 5 riffing. How? I don't know. Is it?
Yeah.
Cumulatively, is it?
Yeah, with Rift Tracks following in behind it.
How? Okay, the title of the YouTube channel is The Gaming Saloon. AKA, this is a primarily gaming channel. How is it people are coming more for our not gaming things than they are for our gaming things?
Because I know last season we were bouncing all over the board with amounts of views. I have to think it's because it was Axel. Like, legit, I have to think that. And then Arc 5, need I say more?
I know Arc 5's popular, but I'm like, are that people interested in hearing us watch it and talk about it?
And
like,
for the most part, they like quiet.
Yeah, because we're just like, shit, the show's so good.
Yeah. It wasn't like with Zexel where we were trying to find reasons to rip it apart.
Yeah, Arc 5 were like, oh my god. Like, the only thing I find enjoyment in ripping apart with Arc 5 is the people who constantly believe that Yuzu is Ruri. Or that they've somehow now switched places. And that they're the person from the original dimension. Like, Yuzu's originally from the Exceed dimension, and Ruri's originally from the fucking... standard dimension. I can't remember the name of it. I'm almost called it the pendulum dimension, but no, it's not pendulum. And I'm like, do you know how insane you sound saying that? Do you have any idea
I would have to assume very.
Do you know how insane you sound when one of your main points is that Dennis and Yuri have been lying to us the entire time when they have no reason to lie to us? That's their main point.
I don't know if I would go so far as saying that Dennis has no reason to lie to us.
Okay.
Maybe about that, but...
Why would Yuri lie in saying, yes, I kidnapped Ruri? Why? What does he gain from that to Yuzu that he is saying this to? Nothing! He gains nothing! There's no reason for him to lie to the girl that he's literally about to take to Academia and throw into some cell somewhere, wherever the fuck you keep the girls. There's literally no reason for him to lie. And guess what? Spoilers! Dennis is involved in Ruri's kidnapping! Oh, shocker! Not like we saw that one fucking coming, considering, you know, his involvement has been hinted at from day fucking one. Because, you know, that LDS pin that popped up so long ago that sent Yuto and Shun after LDS, guess whose pin that was?
And
fucking Dennis's!
And, you know, I love the fact that that is something early in the show. Yet we don't get context for, what, like 30 episodes?
Yeah! Like, I honestly think the people who believe this theory don't realize that the entire Yuzu and Ruri being the same person was a red fucking herring. We were supposed to believe Yuzu was Ruri, to make us believe that they were the same person, because we had no confirmation that Yuzu had counterparts. But guess who threw away that theory off the bat? Yuto, who is a fucking dimensional counterpart. Is just as close to Ruri as Shun. The only difference is Yuto's not blinded by hatred, like Shun is.
Yeah.
Secondly, Ruri deconfirms the theory himself, saying, yes, I kidnapped Ruri. Thirdly, Leo confirms that the theory is dead, because he says Yuzu's the final part of this puzzle. Fourth, we fucking see Ruri, and she looks nothing like Yuzu that isn't the same across all of their counterparts. And finally, whatever bullshit thing you want to bring up about a plot hole that exists of why Leo did not find Yuzu first, let me remind you of the person that is in Standard that Reo probably doesn't want to fuck with. His fucking son!
Who's a horrible leader.
But guess what? He doesn't want to go fight his son! Why? Because his son could whoop his fucking ass! Duh! Plus, we don't know when the fuck Reo found out about the Yuzus. All we know is he may have found out about the dimensions first, decided to go to Fusion for some reason, chasing some wild ghost story about power and uniting the dimensions, and only when he got to Academia, claim power, did he find out about the Yuzus and a way to use them to combine the dimensions. Guess what? What are the first two places you're going to look? The places you're less likely to be looked for. Because guess what? Reo knows about her. Reggie knows about Rhea. He knows about Academia. He's known about them since day fucking one. If he even attempts to go searching for anyone using Yuri or anyone of Academia, Reggie is going to be suspicious. And guess what? He probably pinned Dennis as a fucking agent and never said a goddamn word about it. At least that's my interpretation concerning current events.
Well, obviously we're farther back than you, but
I know.
I don't know so much about that as far as knowing from the start. Like, I could completely see him figuring it out as they went.
Yeah.
But I think, even where we're at, I think it's more of a, he has a suspicion, but he can't peg who yet.
Yeah. Like, Reggie also knows how to track people from other dimensions. And Reggie has to know he knows that. So what does he do? He goes after the counterparts and the dimensions no one is expecting him at. The Exceeds dimension, which he literally sends his army to burn to the ground. Because that's a part of his fucking plan. Because he probably needs the carded people for God knows what. And you know what's next up on the platter? Fucking Synchro Dimension. But you know what he did after the invasion? He had Yuri go in and take Ruri. This is very confusing because they have very similar names.
Yeah.
Because guess what? That was after the invasion. Spoilers. I know I'm dropping some Arc 5 spoilers here, but I need to say this. And plus, they're not huge spoilers, to be honest. There are things we've honestly knew happened. So I don't count it as much of a spoiler. It's just a confirmation of information we already knew about. But yeah, we also know that he sent Yuri to go after Rin sometime after his invasion of the Exceeds dimension. Meaning, guess what? He probably didn't know about the girls until after he invaded the Exceeds dimension. Meaning, he wouldn't fucking know about Yuzu until now! Guess what? Plot hole filled! Use your fucking brains, people! There's no logical reason why he would know about Yuzu before going. Especially considering events around the girls at this point. He would only know about Yuzu after leaving. And guess what? After leaving, he's already fucked his kid over, caused him to become very angry and very not liking him, and also very much geared towards taking his ass down. Meaning Standard is the last place he wants to invade. Because he knows it's going to be an uphill fight no matter what he tries. So, yeah. Also, it probably doesn't help that out of the 4 people, Yuzu probably is the best duelist, considering she's the only one who's lasted any amount of time against Yuri. That we know of, at least. Granted, I don't think that was much of a duel, as it was running the fuck away and playing hide and seek with him.
Very true.
But at least Yuzu's the only one to not get captured by him in their first encounter. We don't count Selena in this argument, because in this conversation, because she was already in Academia before all this nonsense, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I bet we never know the specifics why she was kind of kept aside.
I'm sure she doesn't even know who the fuck Yuri is to begin with at this point.
I don't know. She might.
Well, she hasn't said anything about Yuri specifically.
But
even when
why
talking about
really would she?
I don't know. Maybe try to give them some information on who this fucker is. Because we still know dick in all about Yuri, except he's an asshole with a cape, and he is a fucking fancy ass shithead. Whose dragon may or may not be fused with him. That's the theory right now, considering a certain evidence from the new opening. And previous imagery of Yuri.
Huh.
It's a possibility, to be honest. So, yeah. Anyway, I haven't watched the 2 episodes of Arc 5 I've been backed up on. I'm going to be watching them tomorrow on my break between the fundamentals and physics. Because we got a hype-ass duel.
Oh, that.
Yep, and next week starts, I believe, a duel that will be very interesting to see. Anyway, I guess we'll transition into what we've been watching. What have you been watching that does not involve things that make you want to just go, you are wrong and you are dumb? Although that sounded far more mean-spirited than I wanted it.
Probably. I can't even. I can't think of what you're just.
I just don't like the Yuzururi theory anymore. I'm just tired of hearing about it. I'm like, no, you're wrong. I'm not tired of hearing about it because I'm like, look, I've heard this 1,000 times. I get it. No, I'm tired of hearing about it because you're wrong. All the evidence you're pointing is super circumstantial and also wrong. It can be completely explained in a different way that makes sense given the timeline of the show. Whatever character development you think this theory will give Yuzu goes against what we've been trying to do with Yuzu from the get-go. Which is build up Yuzu as fucking Yuzu, not as this person that she's not. That's the entire point. Anyway, what is going on?
Outside of the well, in terms of watching Kaizo 2. Inflationist has.
How is that going?
You know, he makes it look fairly simple at the beginning.
Yeah.
That is a false sense of security that game has, and I kind of am like, okay, that is both dickish and clever as hell.
Yeah. You want to see some balls ass hard gameplay? Fucking watch completionists do the Kaizo games, because those are some balls ass difficult bullshit going on.
What's bad though is when I sit down to watch one, I have to make sure that I've got 30 minutes because all their videos are that long.
Oh, I have come to the point of when it's Kaizo, I skip it until they complete a part of the level. And then I see them die a couple times, and then I skip to the next thing, next time they complete a part of the level.
But you're missing out on so much of it.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no, to be honest.
Especially the last episode that I just watched.
Yeah.
36-minute episode. I guarantee it to you, 26 minutes of that was him hitting his head against a wall.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That is the best way to describe Kaizo at times. By the way, they've killed like 5 Retrons over the course of, I think, both Kaizos. Literally killed them.
They've already killed one in the one I'm on. Have
the
had
beginning
the
of
second one. They got a second one. It didn't work out of the box, so you can't really count that as a kill from them.
Yeah.
The third one has already froze on them twice.
See, they did the beginning of Kaizo 3 at SGC, which is Gertax Gaming Convention. They killed it after they completed the first level. It died as they completed the first level.
Jeez.
Live on stage.
Holy crap.
It literally died after they completed and saved. And it's like, damn. The Retron has been claimed by the fucking Kaizo Reaper.
I do want to know though, if they kill one like that, can they still get those save states, or do they actually have to replay that?
I believe the data, at least for the game, in terms of like the saving of the levels, is on the cartridge.
Oh, okay, thank God.
Well, this was like the normal Super Mario save, I believe, is what happened before the Retron died.
That's not as bad then.
Yeah. I think they were fine after it died, so.
Whew.
So
when otherwise, jeez.
When you get to Kaizo 3, you get to see the live thing, because it's on stage at SGC in front of like hundreds of people. I don't know how many people they fit in that theater, but it's the Beard Brothers. I think Jared, and I forgot who else was on stage for it, but it was the 4 of them doing commentary.
You know, I wonder too, because I've heard so many of them say, and I've noticed it too, when you're doing commentary, you tend to screw up more.
The Let's Players curse? Yeah.
I wonder how good he would be if he didn't try to do commentary on it.
He's wanting to go, he's planning on competing in EVO, so...
Because if he can pull it off with commentary, I really want to see what he can do without it.
I would say check out the EVO event he's going to be competing in to see him really strut his stuff. Because that's going to be a 100% focused Gerard that doesn't have to do anything besides play. We're talking about a man who's insane enough to go, oh yeah, I'm going to complete both versions of Smash Brothers in time for launch. 100%. So that's like all the challenges and stuff.
Oh,
so you know that like
wow.
run without losing a life? Yeah, has to do that twice. Twice.
Wow.
We're
course,
also talking.
of course, this is the same one that completed Triforce Heroes, both with others and solo.
And completed Hyrule Warriors, maxing out characters to their original level max, and doing all the challenges. Yeah, all those challenges in Hyrule Warriors for the review. Gerard is insane.
I'm not that freaking crazy.
Gerard is insanely dedicated, and I applaud him. I'm also like, dude, please, for your sanity, 2 smaller games. Stop doing these huge games.
I would hate to have to find out how many days he goes on little to no sleep because of this.
All I can tell you is sometimes he streams late at night. Like, he was streaming
Oh.
Final Fantasy 13 late one night. By the way, he likes the game.
I question his decisions, but okay.
We're also he also likes the DMC Devil May Cry game. You know,
I
the one
don't
that
have
everyone-
any experience with that, but I've heard it's complete another shite, so I don't know.
I would have to consult a friend of mine who's an expert on Devil May Cry, but he was telling me like it's really slow compared to other Devil May Cries. I've only played 2, I think.
That's one of those that, in terms of stuff like that, if I've not been hands-on with it, I don't like giving my own opinion.
Oh, he also likes Sonic Unleashed.
That's the Werehog one, ain't it?
Uh-huh.
That one, that one I've not played,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of want to, is what it is where it stands. Just to see for myself. Because, like, that one, it did not get the hatred that Sonic Boom and Sonic 06 got.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of have that funny feeling like, you know, I might actually like it. I don't know.
I think the biggest problem with Sonic Unleashed is the Werehog stuff, because it's just not that good. It's not that good action game stuff. So it's like, eh. And it's got really good day stages, but the night stages are just bleh. So it
Okay.
kind of just brings it down to kind of like a mediocre level.
Okay, but I have to question whether or not that's a case of the night levels just don't feel like Sonic levels. Because I seem to recall we had similar thoughts in terms of the Amy levels in Sonic Adventure.
Yeah.
And that kind of gets me in that mindset. It's like, okay, we're trading
think
out speed for power, so maybe? I don't know.
Like, from what I've seen, it's a combination of that, and it's just not that good on its own right. So, even in terms of like action game standards, or you know, those levels in terms of its genre, it's not that impressive. So, even on its own, before we even judge the fact that it's a part of a Sonic game, it's Anyway. What have I been watching? Once Upon a Time, with its big 2-parter this week that was neat. Like, the first part was cool, and it's like, ooh, oh. Well then, this certainly changes things up for the foreseeable future of the season. And the second part was, that was a cool team up. Alright, moving on. Like, it's cool to see Red back and know where the fuck she went. And it's cool to see Mulan back and no real explanation of where she went. It's just like, hey, she's here, and yeah. And apparently the two of them are off on an adventure to find more people like Red because Red's a werewolf. Yeah, Red Riding Hood's a werewolf.
I don't even.
Once upon a time, like early on, did a lot of little twist things with the original, with all those fairy tales. Like, Snow White is a badass archer and hunter person who's the sister of the evil queen.
Huh.
Yeah. The evil queen's not that bad of a person, and there's a lot of complicated, complex web of characters and their histories and whatnot in Once Upon a Time. I suggest, if you're interested in Once Upon a Time, just watch from the beginning and just take your time. Because it's just one of those shows that you just start from the beginning and you just keep going because everything kind of builds after a while.
Okay. I think I got you on that one.
Yeah. It's like you don't want to hop in on Arc 5 halfway through. No, you want to start from the beginning.
True. Very true right there.
Yeah, like I said, if you want to hop in on Once Upon a Time, you start from the beginning. Because a lot of characters have some long arcs on that show, like multi-season arcs. Like the Evil Queen, Regina, like she has a multi-season arc. Where we see her go from evil to good. Well, evil to anti-hero, I guess?
Huh.
Tolerant of it. Well, not anti-hero, more like I'm going to do good things, but I'm still going to be kind of evil about it, kind of. Or at least be very aggressive about it. Like, if someone needs to get a fireball upside the face, she will be the one to deliver it without hesitation. Because that's just who she is. So yeah. There's that. Arrow. I haven't seen Arrow this week, actually. I've seen Flash this week, which was pretty neat. Dealing with the whole fact that, hey, Barry got paralyzed from their really dumb idea last week. Yeah, they decided to have the idea of, let's try to get Zoom, who we know is a super powerful speedster that wants me dead. Let's try to trap him by using the dimensional counterpart of Dr. Light from our world. Dress up as Dr. Light, act like Dr. Light, fake a battle between her and Flash, have Flash act defeated, and then, try to lure Zoom in with that. But nope, that didn't work. Flash got his ass handed to him and got paralyzed for half the episode.
Wow.
And got paraded around town by Zoom, and Zoom going, look at your hero. Look at how beat up and shitty he is right now. Your asses are mine.
Oh.
Yeah, it was one of those, damn. I guess we just proved that Zoom's a badass, and this was a dumb idea. Which was funny, because the entire episode they're like, this is kind of a dumb idea, but we're gonna go with it, because you know what, screw it. Our dumb ideas usually work out most of the time, right? Well, it's not happening this time. And you almost paid the big price for it. And this week was kind of dealing with Barry going, I got my ass handed to me. Fuck. I don't know what to do now. And then we had Gorilla Grodd show up again. The telepathic monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had him show back up, looking to make more of him. And then, Earth 2, Wells, eventually comes up with the plan of sending him to Earth 2, but sending him to Africa, because there's a place in Africa where apes that have been experimented on are sent as kind of like a paradise forum or just like a safe haven forum, aka Gorilla City. So, yes, we've introduced Gorilla City in Earth 2. Yep, that's totally not going to be a plot point in the future. Oh dear. Are we going to have a season finale where Flash and whoever heroes that he has on his side have to take on an army of super intelligent apes with advanced technology?
Possibly.
If so, fuck it. We do this, nothing is off limits anymore in these shows. You have had Flash battle super intelligent apes, so one of them with telepathic abilities with possibly advanced technology. You have no more excuses. Nothing can be dumber than this. Nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing. You have no excuses anymore. You can do whatever the fuck you want. As long as it doesn't conflict with DC movie universe, whatnot. You literally have no excuse anymore. You can do whatever you want. But yeah, there was that. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was pretty good this week. They introduced the whole fact that, hey, Hydra's been around far, far fucking longer than, like, World War II. They're also connected to that whole monolith thing that leads to the planet. That's actually probably not Mog the Living Planet, but something probably just as dangerous, as it's probably a really powerful inhuman that was banished because, you know, he was stupidly powerful and he wanted to take over the world. And we want to bring him back so that we can rule the world with him. And I'm just like, this sounds like a plot I've heard before. And I know how this ends. And it's not good for you. Because you know what always happens with the people who summon the really big bad so they can rule beside him? Those people get blown the fuck up. Always. This is why if someone really bad was banished to somewhere, you don't bring them back. Because they will be worse than you. No matter how bad you think you are. You want to execute your own men? Fine. He'll probably slaughter the lot of you. And he'll do it for funsies. So yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. setting up that for the end of the season. I don't know what the hell the mid-season finale is going to be. All I know is we got a promo for Agent Carter today. And Carter's going to Hollywood. And I'm like, yay, Agent Carter's back. Agent Carter was pretty good. I'm willing to say that I think Agent Carter might be better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I think it's because smaller cast allows for a lot more character development across the smaller cast. Plus, you got some really good chemistry between Peggy Carter and Jarvis. Original Jarvis, not Robot Jarvis. In case anyone's confused. I think that was it. For me, at least. I can't think of anything else at the moment. I know Jessica Jones premieres in 2 hours. And I saw someone tweet that's like, kiss your weekends goodbye, and I'm like, I can't do that. I have stuff I have to do this weekend. Like attempt the Christmas shop this weekend. I say attempt because I have no idea what the fuck I want to get. Like, my uncle's easy to shop for. I can literally go online to shop for him. Everyone else, on the other hand, I don't know. One of them is only because I don't know what to get. The other people, I just have no idea, like, even, like, shops to go to the shop for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna, like, hop on my GPS, just hit the stores button and just go, alright, where to? I'm just gonna go to a store and just go looking. And if I find something, I find something. So, shall we talk about Ghost?
Yes, we shall.
Oh my god. Spectre, I think I know where this is going because I have read the episode summaries and I've got an assumption of who you are. But you are kind of making this obvious.
Yeah. Painfully obvious.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you know Akari. Well, that puts you on a short list of people we know. We assume you're the one who told the kid to go to the temple for his problem.
Yeah.
So, based off the summaries I've read, I assume you're someone who was very young when he visited the temple.
I think in light of the end of this week's episode, we also know that apparently him and Takaru's fates were kind of sealed at the same time.
Yeah, something 10 years ago that involves that fucking monolith. All I'm gonna say is, called it! It's a plot point! Knew it was a plot point! I mean, it doesn't help that we had an episode titled The Second Monolith, like, for weeks now.
Yeah.
But, called it! So yeah. Other than that, we got Beethoven. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now. Beethoven has my favorite jingle.
I know.
I love that jingle so much. It's so dumb, but I love it. It's like, yes, of course we put in the dun 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 dun. Because of course that's the only thing people know about Beethoven off the bat. But Beethoven with his keyboard code that shoots magic notes of rainbow-ness.
I think it was also changing the notes that the Ganmo was putting out too.
Oh, I thought it was just negating those.
No, I think it was changing them and then throwing them back too.
Oh, that's neat. I also know that Takaru was tossing out musical terminology. I'm like, I'm going to assume you're not using that correctly, because I don't think you are, but I don't care. Because I don't think he was using that terminology correctly.
I don't know.
But yeah, we got Beethoven. Spectre was an ass for half this episode when he tried to steal Musashi, only for Akari to be like, no, I'm not going to hand this over. And he's like, fine. I'll come back later. And just leaves.
And, you know, I got a little flashback of Chase in that scene right there. I really did, because it was one of those you could tell the only reason that he did what he did was to try to look menacing.
Yeah.
He had no intentions of hurting her.
Mm-hmm. I think the only difference is with Chase, he's brainwashed, but his true personality was breaking through in that moment. And here, it's only Spectre just being like, fine.
Whatever.
I'm only here to hurt Takaru. I'm only here to be in a pain in the ass for one of you. I'll take the icon from him later. It's not like I'm in a rush to get these, apparently.
It's not like I can't take it from him whenever I feel like it.
Yeah, he's like, what, 0-3 against me so far?
Yeah.
I hope Takaru actually wins the fight this coming week. So they're fighting again. Because of course they're fighting again.
It's a two-parter.
Yeah.
He won't. Not in this week's. It'll be next week's.
What? Look, here's the thing. Spectre has to be buddy-buddy with Ghost by the time Genesis comes around. Because otherwise, I'm gonna really question why Spectre just shows up to Tamari and Kiriko's wedding, being all happy, standing next to Takaru, and not wanting to immediately whoop his ass. I'm like, look, the two of you gotta be buddy-buddy before the fucking Christmas break. So, I assume
Long
that happens
before
with
then. Because, like, the movie's gonna have to tie in somewhere within those episodes right there. That means, like, literally within one of these 2 episodes, that change is gonna have to start happening.
maybe by the end of this two-parter.
That's kind of why I'm like, I don't think the first one. I don't think this week's episode we're gonna see him win.
Well, the movie premieres the 12th. So we have 3 episodes. So we have 3 episodes to get them to at least not want to kill each other by being in the same room with each other. Or at least within the close proximity of each other, since Makoto does work with Takaru at the end of the movie, I assume. When those two, Tamari and Go, team up for facing down Da Vinci one final time, I guess. Also, I know why Donatello's not going to be in the lineup.
Yeah, I saw that on Ghost Tumblr.
Damn you, historically accurate references!
Hey, at least they were staying relevant to a timeline. That's something that Toei has a hard time dealing with.
I know. I'm like, don't be fucking historically accurate when you are literally one away from referencing Turtles. Fuck that nonsense. Let's be historically inaccurate. It's not like we're already telling like half the truth with most of these historical figures. Which is true. I mean, like, some of these people aren't the best of people. Like, you know, Billy the Kid, who's probably responsible for killing like half a dozen people in cold blood.
True.
Granted, you could say that about anyone from the Old West. Because that's just how things operated back then.
You didn't like it, you shot it out. Someone walked away, someone died.
Mm-hmm. Someone cheated a card game, you shot them. That's just how it goes.
It's one of those you'll only do it once. Mainly because you'll be dead, but you'll only do it once.
Yeah. But like that, Edison isn't exactly the most noble of inventors. He's more of a patent guy than he is an inventor, but...
Well, and there again, it seems like no matter how you look at it, he is only known for the light bulb.
True, which is the entire point.
Yeah, but what gets me is he did more than just that.
Right.
Why not make it a mixture if you want to represent these people? Don't just pick the one thing everyone already knows about.
I think
I feel like they could. I feel like they could improve off of that.
Yeah.
Like use that as the hook, and then subtly kind of teach more about the person as you're going.
Yeah. I think it's kind of plays with the idea they're dealing with, where they want people to be inspired by these heroes, but not be these heroes. Which I think is also paralleled in how Takaru gets the Parka Ghost, whereas how the Gamma try to get the Parka Ghost.
Yeah.
Takaru wants these people to be themselves, but be inspired by them, to learn from them.
Gamma want them to be carbon copies.
Right. Which kinda is broke this week, but
no,
I think it was
not really.
Yeah.
Because there was enough dialogue to understand why the chain of events was happening.
Yeah, I think it was more just trying to go for the director out of like, okay, if this guy kills himself, we can immediately get the Parker Ghost, and we can just get around this whole, like, being this person thing.
But keep in mind what Takaru even said. He did think about killing himself when he lost his hearing.
Mm-hmm.
What parallel happened there?
Yeah.
Anything he wanted drowned out, the Ganma was making it happen. So, to a sense, he was losing his hearing because of the Ganma.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, how it was done might not have been exact what they were going for, but I can understand the parallels enough to be like, okay, well, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the Ghost Tumblr is speculating that the tears mean something, and I'm like, if these tears in these magic hugs are not a plot point in this show, I will honestly be surprised. Because they have to be a plot point.
Yeah.
Just like the monolith is a plot point. This thing's been there since day one. Standing there, doing nothing. And it's a plot point.
I think if anything, we already know what that means. Because what is common about all of the times we've had to see it so far? He has learned something from it.
Mm-hmm.
He's learned something from that whole experience. So maybe that's not so much something pertaining to what's going on, but so much as pertaining to his character is building as we're going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kinda, now that I've said that, I'm kinda sitting here and thinking, who's to say he has to have all 15 icons? Who's to say he can't just have the experience of having all 15 icons? And that be enough to bring him back?
Yeah. I mean, what day are we on in Ghost right now?
I don't know. I didn't pay no attention.
We're in the early 40s, I believe. Let me look real quick. 45 days remaining.
And that's kind of why I'm thinking that way now, because it's like, okay, he has took some kind of life lesson out of each of these so far, so maybe we're overlooking that whole time limit plus has to have the icons.
Yeah. By the way, we skipped from day 57 to day 45 over the course of 5 and 6.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that is how many days we've had left.
Wow.
Meaning Takaru has been spending a couple weeks thinking about what the fuck to do with Spectre.
Thinking about him getting his butt kicked repeatedly.
Uh-huh. Damn.
Oh.
I didn't think it was that long. Jesus.
So he has been sulking for nearly 2 weeks.
Unless the episode count is wrong.
Well, okay, wait. To be fair, we don't really know where the days break.
Yeah.
So it might not have been the full 12 days.
Might have been like a week before we started in the episode proper. Because I know we started at night. And then we went through, I think, 2 days in the show. I think. Or at least 1 day in the show.
And that is one of those that, now that I'm thinking about it, we do eat up a few days in the episodes so far that could very likely be wrote off that way.
Yeah, so it's been like a week.
Still though,
Like, I'm gonna... Let's see, it was 99 days, right?
Yeah.
We have seen 54 days pass between all 6 episodes. 54 days.
Well, okay. Can't just count the 6 episodes of Ghost. Because in a technical sense, you do have to count the Drive crossover.
True. The 6 episodes plus the Drive crossover. That is all taking place over the course of 54 days. And you people believe that the time limit is going to be the entirety of the show.
I honestly half suspected they'd do that. Just kind of make that be something that there's not really any pressure from it.
Well, they burned 54 days in 6 episodes, plus a crossover. So...
Wait, how many?
54.
54? Okay, you want me to say something here?
What?
That only makes 5 days unaccounted for. Think about it. Technically 7 episodes. 7 days between each episode.
Yep.
That's 49 days. We've lost 54 in show. There's only 5 days unaccounted for. And that could easily be rectified. Because see, I think that was something that was actually missed at the very beginning when everyone was figuring the 99 would run into the beginning of the year. Everyone kind of missed that we're going to have 7 days that I bet no one even thought to count.
And based off your logic, we have almost approximately 6 episodes left. That only really takes us to the end of December.
I mean, granted, they could stretch it out, but
Yeah.
it does not seem like they're doing that. For us to be that close to real time, that does not seem like they're going to try to stretch it out to me.
I think what's going to happen is we're going to get Boost super early in the show, like in the teens, like in the mid to late teens. Either, and that's like what, beginning of January, like middle of January, I think. Is right around there. And Boost is what is going to bring Takaru back to life. That or extend his time to, like, either give him more time or ensure that he's not going to disappear anytime soon.
I think it's going to be that. Either give him more time or just ensure that he won't disappear. Because then they can do that and then really push that whole him having to collect the icons to the back burner and actually get the story rolling.
Yeah. Because that's the main thing right now. It's all about the icons, and we're not focusing on the main plot. But we're getting little trickles of it here and there. With Sage, with Toothless, and Pretty Boy, and a little bit of Spectre, and, like, the eye portal at the school. That will be a plot point later, and might play into the 2-parter, who knows.
But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. I think that's what's going to happen. And I'm curious, though, if Boost is going to just be... Well, if Boost is going to be the mid-season upgrade, or if this is just going to be another icon for him to have.
I think it will be the Jimba equivalent.
So like that pre-mid-season upgrade?
It'll be like it'll be a Jimba, an all, I wouldn't say all dragon, because all dragon technically was a mid-season upgrade. A flame dragon, like one of the dragon forms, you could say.
So just that kind of step up, that it's a little more powerful, but not enough to really be super powerful yet.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like all the mid-season or like all the pre-mid-season upgrades. I was thinking like, yeah, Electing Fire from Forza.
Drive didn't really have one.
Wild and Technique are the closest comparisons I have.
Yeah,
Because we got them super early, but not like this late to early.
Yeah, but they were kind of more just exchanges for speed.
Yeah.
That did different things.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't really replacements. Like Formula really was the first. Well, no, Dead Heat.
Yeah, Dead Heat's probably
We just didn't really have
pre-mid-season.
that for long.
No, because Dead Heat immediately got pushed to Mach, and it's like, oh, that's Mach's upgrade.
As soon as Formula came out, that was it for Drive Dead Heat.
Honestly, I think we got Drive Dead Heat like twice, and that was it. It immediately became Mach's upgrade, and that was it.
I about forgot about Dead Heat for a second there, but yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about it too for Drive, because I was like, oh yeah, that's a Mach upgrade. That's not a Tamari upgrade, because he barely fucking uses it. I'm trying to think of the other ones. I'm like, Tajador's a mid-season upgrade, so like anything before that. So Gatsukiriba, La Taranta, I assume. Because I'm like, Tajador's the mid-season upgrade that gets promoted to Final Form by the end of the series. Double, I think it's just like the other main side swaps. Heat, Metal, and Luna Trigger. I think. Because honestly, Double doesn't get that many like true form upgrades throughout the course of the series. It's just the side changes, Fang Joker, which is really Philip's form more than Shotaro's because of how it works, and then Extreme, and that's it. So, Boost is probably just the Gemma equivalent. I know some people are speculating that maybe his final form will involve an icon that holds his father's spirit.
I don't know. Because that... I feel like that might break the pattern they're going with on the icons so far.
True.
I know, really do.
I know based off the sounds we have, I don't think we have the mid or the mid-season or the final form upgrade, to be honest. We might, because it might be one of the fusions, but I don't think so. I think those will either be like a movie exclusive form or something that's not in the show. Or at best, we'll get Spectres, but we won't get Ghosts. Because that will be Spectre's big final upgrade. Will be the fusion one. Because I think Houdini's going to be his, like, mid-season upgrade. I don't think it's his final. Considering the amount of forms we're getting out over the course of this show, I honestly think Houdini's going to get at least 2, or Spectre's going to get at least 2 major upgrades. He'll get Houdini, and then he'll get something outside of that. I think.
You think they would?
Considering there is a fusion form for Spectre in the driver, I assume that he's going to get that as his final form, I think. I think that'll be his special little upgrade.
Yeah, but, I mean... really... Of course, granted, Gaim's kind of an exception to that.
Yeah.
But that was more because the fans kind of pushed for it, in all seriousness. But really, secondary riders, if anything, they only get 1 upgrade.
True. But, like, Spectre already has 2 forms. And technically can grab any form Ghost has already.
Yeah.
So that puts him, like, 1 more forms than any secondary rider before him.
True.
Although his sound effects are inaccurate according to the toy. Because the standby music is defined by the icon.
Not by the bell.
Nope.
For obvious reasons.
No, and they can't swap a faceplate for it, so standby music's from the icon, so technically we should be getting Ghost's standby music with that icon, but yeah. Limitations of how the driver works, I guess.
Yeah, like
I mean-
this, all seriousness, this is probably about the only time that we've had the exact same driver for primary and secondary. Well, outside of game.
Ooh. Ryuki everyone had the same driver, but that's another like weird exception. Kabuto technically had everyone like Gatak and Kabuto were using the same driver. Technically, they were using the same driver.
Technically.
Yeah, because their transformation is based off the beetle, not the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rare exception. Like, we haven't had something like that since, like, the original Riders, I would say, in terms of having the same belt.
Outside of
Yeah. Which I think is also part of that whole parallel that we're supposed to have with Ghost Inspector, of them being kind of an Ichigo-Nigo parallel. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much stock I want to put in the final form idea of him getting his father's spirit as his final form.
I just
Honestly,
don't feel like that would be something that I could see doing. I really don't. Because it kind of, I feel like it breaks how they've been doing the icons.
Like, a part of me wants to say that his final form will somehow be like him. Not him Ghost, him Takaru. Which is kinda covered in Ore, but I don't think so. But
I see what you're meaning, but yeah, that's one of those that I feel like that would be a little complicated to try to pull off, though.
yeah, but another problem with it is how Boost works. Boost is just an upgraded form of Ghost. Or Ore form already. So I'm like, they're not going to repeat this for the final form. Like, they have to do something different. So Boost kind of takes that idea out of the equation. Like, I have
You
to
know
think it's...
what might be the mid-season?
What?
Might be the season.
You think?
Yeah, I think it might be. Because you think it would be a combination of more than one icon at that point.
Which Boost is already hinting at with the sunglasses hooking up 2 icons in it, so that might be the conversion to go for. And the final form could be some type of combination of all of them. Maybe some Reaper-esque form?
Or maybe something akin to Traderon, where it controls all of the souls.
That would be in line with like the last 3 final forms, because they're all combo forms. Or they're all forms that use combination powers. Because like Forzy did that. Wizard didn't do that really. Gaim did that, Drive did that. Wizard's the only exception, although Infinity
Kinda did, though.
Well, Infinity was supposed to show, like, Haruto upgrading all of his spells to higher forms, but we never got any of that. We only got that in scans. Like, he could use Chain to, like, swing around the Excalibur, or I forgot what else he could do with it. It was scans from, like, from back when the show first aired. Like, when Infinity was set to debut, it was scans of him going up against a Wise Man with all these fancy new spell powers. Yep, upgrade by Infinity. But we didn't even get that fight as you know. We didn't get Wizard versus Wise Man, or Infinity versus Wise Man at all.
Yeah.
Let alone all of these fancy new spell powers.
Makes me wonder why that got cut then.
I don't know.
Because you
it
know,
was
if they
very
had
expensive.
scans for it, then I mean, that meant they were going for that.
Yeah, I know sometimes they put stuff in the scans that doesn't actually happen, like the big, like, assumed, like, motorcycle chase that was in the game scans at one point. I don't know if we remember that or not. But, like,
Right off the
Gridon
hand.
on the Tulip Hopper, Gaim on the Dandelion. Like, it was all the riders in the show at that point, I think outside of Zangetsu, on various different motorcycles and some type of chase scene, I think. It was like towards the beginning of the game, so you might not remember.
Might not.
But, like, it made sense in the context of the show that, like, Wizard and Wise Man would come to clash with Infinity. But, nope, never got that fight. Not really.
Not technically.
Yeah, well, not with Infinity in play, I think. So I don't think Wise Man and Wizard really went toe-to-toe with Infinity until, like, the end of the show. And it was not like what the scans showed. Yeah. I just don't know. Maybe it's just a Reaper form. Like, that's my best guess of, like, Takaru would get some type of, like, Ghost Reaper form.
I think Sage already knows.
And that's what he's trying to turn Takaru into, is whatever his final form is going to be.
Yeah.
Yay, another corrupted final form. I love those. It means we might get 2 final forms in Wizard, which we haven't had since... Or, not in Wizard, in Ghost. We haven't had that since O's.
You know
Or
what
the,
would...
it might...
Huh. You know what would be a unique concept?
What?
If... Okay, like you said, have 2 final forms, but what if we had the original final form that Sage gives him that would be the Reaper, but it comes with so many limitations, and then there's another form that he achieves on his own?
That's possible. It could be very interesting. Because they are form happy in this goddamn show. I mean, we already know we're at least getting 17 forms off the bat.
Well, and part of what makes me think about that is, okay, we know they're referencing other shows.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be that kind of subtle hint to how Wizard was too. So they would be getting even more kind of throwbacks into
Yes.
this take.
Yeah, because Sage would be more of a Wise Man comparison than possibly Sagara at that point.
Like I don't think he's totally like being manipulative as much so as trying to guide him in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows too much and is not willing to share that information too. So that's one of those, it's like, how do I really feel about you?
Yeah. And I also noticed something when I was writing up the R&R, because I was writing up the R&R for the past 2 weeks' episodes of Ghost. I noticed something. He seemed concerned if Akari could see him without the dust.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you concerned about that? We know how the invisibility works. Why would you think she can see you? Is there something about Akari we don't know? Or is there something about you that we don't know? Because I'm not sure which way that goes. Because he seems very transfixed on her for some reason. And I'm like, do you know something about her? Because we know she's an old friend of Takaru. So I'm like, is there something about her that makes her special? That somehow will bring in a fucking Koyomi parallel? Which would be weird because it's yet another wizard comparison I can make with this show. And I'm like, oh my god, stop being Wizard 2.0.
It's Wizard done right.
Except Wizard was done right for the most part.
Until filler was involved.
Yeah.
That was really the downfall of it.
Yeah, so it's just Wizard done better. But yeah, I'm just like, there's something here, but I'm not sure which way it goes. Because I'm like, I'm already suspicious of Sage, and I'm like, is this supposed to be making you more suspicious? Or making me question her? Because I'm thinking maybe the reason they keep doing this whole point of her being the physics-minded, science-minded person is that there is something magical about her. And it will just throw her completely off. Of like, yes, you are the science-minded person who has a magical thing about her. Oh, the irony.
I think you're onto something there. I really do.
But they keep it around. And I'm like, there's no point for you to keep this around anymore. There really isn't.
Yeah.
You're making her very stubborn. And there's only one reason to do this. And that there's something about her that makes her magical. Or magical, or ghostly, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's something about her that she will not be able to explain, and it's gonna throw her for a loop. That's the only reason you're gonna keep this around. Because there's no reason for her to be this stubborn about this anymore. So I'm like, you've seen Genma's way too many times. You have seen Takaru transform way too many times. You've seen the fucking Parka Ghost. You've seen all this magic paranormal shit go on. Yes, there is a scientific reason for all of this, but it's still fucking paranormal magic bullshit. It's just giving a sciencey explanation to it. Just accept that it is paranormal magic stuff that has possibly a science explanation to it. So yeah, maybe there's something with like Kairi. I don't know. It was just something I realized when I went back and watched the episode.
Make a point there though, and when you said that, that got me thinking, huh? Yeah. I wonder if there is something up with her.
Yeah. I'm just like, Sage is only transfixed with two people in this show. It's Takaru and Kairi. We know what he wants from one of them. Anyway, we should probably watch Go Busters at some point.
We probably should.
Before we speculate on Ghost the entire night.
Yep.
Anyway, we're going to be watching episodes 9 and 10 of Go Busters, Usada Recovery Strategy, and The Reason We Fight. So, yeah. Usada gets kidnapped, and I guess some backstory stuff to what happened with their parents thing? I don't fucking know. My memory is spotty of Go Busters, so this is kind of going back and watching Go Busters all over again.
Oh god.
At times, other times...
Except for this time, no scans. Unless you want to go dig them up.
Fuck that noise. I'm not gonna go dig up fucking... God, how many years has it been since Go Busters? Like 4 year scans? Yeah, 4 Euro scans? Yeah, no, fuck that.
I'm wanting to say 4.
I'm like, Go Busters was after Go Kaiger, which was the O's season. Or the O's... owes one. This came out the exact same time as Forze,
Yeah.
so that puts it around 4 years. Granted, the Sentai and Riders are kind of like offset to where you get halves depending on what season you're talking about.
I don't know. We're getting close to the point where it's going to wind up being about parallel with each other.
Yeah. Because I know.
I think we were close to 40 in Ninja when the first episode of Ghost came out. So I think it's gotten offset too much now.
Yeah, I think the new Sentai show is even filming right now. I think someone has gotten a spy shot from the new Sentai show filming.
That's what's
think
funny.
It
Usually
might
that
be...
stuff happens like closer to the teens of the rider.
Well, like the first spy shots we got of Ghost were from this past episode.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think nothing about that. Yeah.
Yeah, the actual like footage on set of
Yeah.
Ghost was from this episode because it was the
outdoor fight.
Yeah, the outdoor fight between Ghost and Beethoven, and then Ghost and Spectre.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I remember that. Like when I saw the preview, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the episode that we first saw footage of Ghost for. Because I don't think we saw footage of like anything else before that.
Which I'm immensely surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 episodes in and we didn't get some kind of a spoiler for something beforehand now.
I think we got like people's impressions of the show, but I don't think we got any footage or shots until the stuff from episode 6. Or the one fight from episode 6. So, anyway. Any thoughts going into this?
No, not really.
By the way, as a piece of trivia, this is from the first appearance of the Go Busters from Go Kaiser Gabon, in terms of the title card.
Oh.
Which links are in the description below. Yeah, this is from their first appearance when they went and fought Bosco to a standstill, which was awesome.
I love the fact that you just kind of wrap that into the whole links in the description below part.
Well, thankfully the title card made me remember to actually do that.
By the way, if you guys have TV Nihon subs downloaded, then feel free to watch those.
Yep, it's the TV Nihon subs.
Whatever is more convenient for you.
Anyway, you all set?
Yep.
Alright, take a look at this first episode of Go Busters here in 3, 2, 1, go.
3-second pause.
Yep. Who are you people? I guess she eats when she's angry.
Oh god.
Ladies and gentlemen, to prove to you that Usada is the most useless buddy-roid there is, this is all that takes for him to be kidnapped. I don't remember the episode, I just assume that's what's happening. And guess what? I'm right.
Please wait a moment as we stuff you into the back of this vehicle and take you to someplace you do not know.
Exactly.
That's kind of the point.
You'd think they would fucking equip Usada with something to defend himself with.
Well, they are surprised by that.
I'm not! Fucking Usada can't defend himself! Gorosaki can at least punch somebody. Nick can turn into a bike and run away. And I think also pull out a gun, because I think he has a gun on him. I think. I don't know. But I'm like, those two can defend themselves. Usada can wave his wheel arms angrily at them and give them a stern look with his gauge eyes, and that's about it. I'm like, R2 has more defense than you. And the best thing he's got is oil slick and a jetpack. Literally, that's all R2's got. So the best R2 can do is set you on fire. In a very complicated Looney Tunes manner.
Hey, that's better than nothing, though.
Yep. Oh, I'll say this. Papa John's is a really good buffalo chicken pizza.
Ah, really?
Mm-hmm. I was gonna get their barbecue chicken pizza, but then I saw their buffalo chicken one, and I'm like, I'm fucking upgrading the buffalo.
Yeah.
And I also picked up what they call garlic knots. They're essentially pretty much a breadstick in the form of like a little crescent roll kind of deal. They're a big gooey dough ball of garlic that is delicious. Because the two of them had a fight.
Well then.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Damn! This is let loose. Kick him through the wall. Kick him through the wall. And the Chief's like, this is what I fucking deal with every day. This. The Vagras aren't attacking. My team is having an argument over fucking homework.
Oh, great. So now you're gonna add more problems.
Hey, that thing from last episode. Meanwhile, Indra's like, this is what I fucking deal with every day. My boss has no idea how you should take over the world. He just assumes everything's gonna work.
Well, you know, gross incompetence runs rampant. Oh God.
This is comical. Clip, clip, clip. Yes, his last name is Lettuce, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Wow.
Nick's last name is Cheetah.
That
And Gorosaki's last name is Gorilla.
one's not bad.
You think they would think to install silent mode?
Yeah. Because at this point, it ought to just be, we are here.
We are here. Run or be kicked in the ass. Because to be honest, we face shit tougher than you on a daily basis. Shut up, Pisada. It's not for that time for their daily thing.
Yep. But
by
we
the
didn't
way-
get glasses throw.
Nope. They threw them before they got in the tunnel.
But, well, okay, close enough.
Okay.
Ah.
By the way, I might have turned on a classmate to our content. He's been thinking about doing Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, so I've been like, hey, here's my Let's Play that will help. Because I showed him a little bit of the Black Knight fight. Didn't get to show him the entire fight because we had to do work, but I was like, hey, here's this. Here's an entire walkthrough to help you like get through the game. I'm doing Radiant Dawn half blind, like over the break between semesters. So yeah. I enter.
That's why.
Those dumbasses out of here!
Should have left them.
That would be the heroic thing to do.
True.
Turned into the police? Don't you mean turned over to the police? Damn. At least he's thinking big.
Well then, that won't fail at all.
Well, this is supposed to be a spy Sentai series, so we have to do some spy shit. This is kind of cool, where they're kind of explaining it and showing it at the same time.
Yeah.
I was about to say, don't you have super jumping ability? Can you just hop up there? Oh, you tricky son of a bitch, you.
Well, didn't you know he's always a half a step ahead of him?
Apparently. Like you have a choice in the matter.
I love the fact he acts like he actually has the choice.
Well, Usada is R2D2 essentially in personality.
That's why.
Yeah. Really?
Gotta tap it that quick?
Apparently.
Wow. That is a shitty bomb.
Guess we better hope Enter's QWERTY skills are a bit on the slow side. Guess we're lucky the bomb slowed down.
He must have got slow.
Apparently. Yeah, sure the two of them can take care of him. Well, sucks to be that person. Two peas of fucking pod, a lot of them.
Oh, he's pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, you've done it. You pissed him off.
Played like a damn fiddle.
Yep.
Oh, there's two more pairs.
There's the sunglasses.
Damn, Enter being super aggressive today.
Well, he did just get played.
Yeah. How quickly can you get there? Oh,
That quickly.
duh. I was about to say, we're gonna go. Nope.
Not yet.
I totally expected Go Buster O. But no, we're gonna CGI up for 2/3 of this. Oh, we're not gonna get Go Buster O. We just get Ace.
Well then.
Well, things are back to normal. I love how this is they're fucking peaceful. Red pissing somebody off. Yoko and Asada arguing.
And everyone else
And
just relaxing.
yeah.
As we get the freaking
We get more Superior Tyson footage. And I assume a song from the movie. Because this is not the normal Go Busters ending, but I don't know if this is a Go Busters song. Don't you feel excited to go see this movie?
No. No.
Oh, this is a Go Busters song. I don't know why they're playing it as an ending, because I didn't think this was an ending song. I thought Go Busters only had 2 endings.
Maybe they figured this would work for this.
Really?
That was just a thought. I mean,
Oh. Oh, this should be fun. I can't believe you actually want to do this movie, or you don't want to do this movie. It's so rippable. I mean, that's the only reason to watch it, to be honest. It's not that good of a movie at all, whatsoever. Granted, it's better than Kamen Rider Tyson.
yeah. Yeah.
Which means it's better than GP, which I think is slightly better than Kamen Rider Tyson, because at least it's not offensive, as Kamen Rider Tyson is.
Oh, it don't have the flower in it?
No. I think every problem in that movie just completely surrounds how they just don't know what to do with Sango. Because, like, they have this cool idea with Sango, but they don't know what to do with it. And I'm like, if you just went one way or the other and just picked one, I think we would be okay.
But no, they
And
can't do that.
no, they have to be so wishy-washy with him. And it also doesn't help that the end of the part of the end of the movie makes no goddamn sense. The entire point of it is to simply set up the fucking Yongo miniseries. That's it.
Uh,
Because you know Mock dying at the end of that movie?
yeah.
The entire point of that is to set up the Yongo miniseries. It makes no goddamn sense in the context of the movie. Because you know who else dies in that movie but gets revived?
Who?
Oda. Because Oda's a fucking monster.
Hmm.
Oda gets revived, but Mock doesn't? Why? There are fucking writers who get wiped away from existence itself, but they're fine? Fuck this. Anyway, you ready to start the second episode?
Yep.
Alright, picking up the second episode of Go Busters here in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what Shinta has to say, because I assume there's more shit that I don't even know about.
Let me guess. Training?
Maybe. Did no one gonna give Yuji a better way to escape?
I don't know.
Nick, you okay? You seem a bit
Stressed?
fired up. Yeah. I mean, Nick, this is a kid's show. So, can we not have your hands on the stick the entire time? Just saying. Who the fuck would Nick date? I mean, is there a female robot here that we don't know about?
Possibly.
By the way, there's not. I'm just like, date with who? Nick doesn't seem like the kind of person that would be dating someone, even if they were human. I'm gonna check Twitter while the opening's going on because I have nothing to say at the opening. Although I will say, I'm getting annoyed by people who are just calling Linkle a female Link, and that's it.
You know that's gonna happen, though.
I know. Although I don't agree with someone who said that he's glad they didn't call her Linkette. I'll be honest, that is a better name than Linkle.
True.
Although, now that I think about it, Lynette would have been a better name.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Linkle just sounds dumb and like someone wanted it to sound like Tinkle.
Yeah. Or, here's an idea, Linkel. Just swap the L and an E. Just make it
Yeah.
Linkel.
But
That way
too
it kinda...
late for that.
Yeah. I'm just like, there are better names for this. I have no problem with this character outside of her name. Her name is atrocious. Just give her a better name. Also, she will have a story in the 3DS mode.
Huh.
She'll be interacting with the humanoid Midna. Uh-oh.
Not
Well,
good.
well, he just sent his ass flying.
You would think they would be smart enough to block
Not
his
do that.
transports when he's in this mode.
I hope nobody wanted those dumpsters. Or not dumpsters. The fuck would you call those? Nick, you're not helping! Hey, he'll learn from your playbook. Well, we're down to 2. Yoko, that's not helping. Now you just realized that. Titanium.
Oh, okay.
I love how we're like not having parts to this, but we still have the ongoing story that we've had from now 4 episodes.
Oh.
Look at Nick try to keep this dysfunctional family together. I love how everyone's like, oh yeah, he can't fucking find a goddamn bird to save his life.
Watch this
Well,
be the one time he does.
oh my god, that's one of those fucking cubes. I think. I don't think a cube was out back then. Yes. You could attach the damn GPS I have to you. Because all it is a damn suction cup connection. You're a fucking bike! Oh my god.
Well.
That's why we don't have a 4th Go Buster in the form of her. It's very complicated. That's going to be like, focus on the people. If we have to sacrifice the Deltanium, we'll do it. This sounds like a terrible idea.
Yes, it does.
We're sure we want to let the robot with no direction take them
Yeah,
to
that
safety.
don't sound like a good idea.
I think it was still popped out right there.
Probably.
That or the morpher gained a little bit of bulk. To be fair, you did give him this idea.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, it's that same hallway.
Oh yeah, it is the same hallway from Gaim. They even fucking shot it the same way too.
That
It's
was
just
the only
darker.
reason I realized it.
It's just not as lit as the Gaim one.
They've even used it in Go Busters before now. That's what's funny.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Oh. What was funny was they shot it the exact same way, and that's why I realized it. It's like, oh wow, we've already seen this once this season, even. Oh wow.
Damn, that speed up effect at times not that good.
Yeah. That's what they're told, anyhow.
Yeah.
Because I have a funny feeling that as much as it gets brought up, there's a reason why it's getting brought up.
Well, if I'm murmuring right, you're on the right track.
Because I've figured out one thing with these shows. If they mention something repeatedly, yeah, there's something important with that.
Wait, Okay, some of these translations I have an issue with.
Yeah.
Go for the face? Didn't that work last time?
Yeah, the fight's over. He was right. He just
Yep.
didn't realize who was going down.
Hey, at least turn around and shoot me! Oh, come on, he can't be hanging on that tight.
Yeah, except for the fact that they all got knocked out for a second there, so
Mm-hmm.
they'll be sore for a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I forgot. We still have the robot to deal with.
I was wondering if you forgot that.
I did. Damn, they speed through the finish.
Yeah.
maybe not. uh, you know what's the worst part about these Severo Taizens things?
What?
The exact same footage every fucking time. I
Yeah,
think this is slightly different footage now, but it's been the exact same footage for like 5 episodes.
this is different.
Yeah. Hey, I get to see, hey, Forza Meteor in this movie.
Because I don't think we got the Forza Meteor stuff up till now.
Yeah. By the way, that's an actual monster from Sentai history. Just letting you know. Don't ask. Apparently, he's important. I still love the subtle things with Forza and Meteor's relationship. Well then, it should be interesting. Ah, that's the actual theme song for the movie. It's actually sung by a bunch of different people who've done Rider and Sentai songs before. So, another week ago, Buster's down.
I'm not regretting it, that's for sure.
Well, we still have more fucking Superhero Tyson commercials to go through.
That's the only thing I'm regretting.
Yeah. That movie can fuck off a cliff as far as I'm concerned.
Same here.
Like, Z, I think objectively is the best one, but it still has a pile of issues.
It basically boils down to none of them are good. It's just...
Which one hurts less?
Yeah.
Which one hurts less to watch? Z!
Yeah.
Mostly because it at least attempts to be a better movie.
But you know what's bad? I've not seen GP, but honestly, I feel like the one that we're getting all the adage for might be the second best.
I think it is, to be honest. I mean,
I'm hoping GP might be better, but I don't know. I've got doubts.
I think one of GP's biggest problems, besides the entire Sango situation, is the fact that the entire, race between riders is fucking contrived as fuck. It's like Tamari challenges Sango to a race. Or challenges Shocker to a race to prove who is the strongest rider. And the deal is, if he wins, him and Kiriko go free. If he loses, they all die.
Well then.
Yeah. Well, you know they're not winning. Even if they do win, they're still gonna die because, you know, Shocker ain't gonna let that shit fly. So the entire point of the race is to somehow win Sango over to being a good guy. That's it.
Wow.
There's that. It's like Sango, they can't decide what the fuck to do with Sango. It's a time travel plot that wants to ignore time travel in order to set up a miniseries. It's also a time travel plot that doesn't make sense after a while. It's just like, okay, so a machine reverses time, and if we blow up this machine, time goes back to normal. I guess.
Except for that's not how that would work.
Mm-hmm. And somehow this affects, like, all of time, apparently. Because we get the appearance of Sango defeating Ichigo and Nigo to start the movie. Which really fucking screws around with this whole idea of, like, is Sango supposed to be a good guy or a bad guy? Because you start the movie with that. And then later, when you first get reintroduced to him, he's a good guy because he helps Tamari. And it's like, but what? Huh? And then, like, the characters don't know he killed Ichigo and Nigo, but it's like, we know he killed Ichigo and Nigo, and it's like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't know what you're supposed to be. Because you are super acting like you're some good guy. But we know you're not. But you are. But you're not. It's a part of that back and forth they don't know what to do with Sango, because they want him to be a good guy so they can do stuff at the end of the movie where he's alongside Ichigo and Nigo and they do the whole triple rider kick and all the stuff you do with something like this. But they need him to be the bad guy because they need a villain for the movie. And why not have an evil Rider 3 be the villain of the movie? It's the catch-22 of, like, we want him to be the good guy so we can do cool stuff with him, but we want him to be the bad guy so we have someone to fight. Because otherwise, we don't have anyone to fight until we pull out the big giant robot, like, the big giant great leader robot that is then surmountedly blown up by Drive and the Shuriken Sentai team, who just pop up out of nowhere with no mention of that whole team up they did, which takes place before this movie. They don't mention it, Tamara doesn't mention it, and there should be no reason why the Ninjas don't mention this. Well, I said Tokyo's because I don't know why. So yeah, I don't know. They just fucking show up out of nowhere and just like, hey, we can combine with Trideron to form Shurikenjin Trideron, I think was the technical name for it. Yeah, it just transforms the Trideron into the thing that's controlling the robot from the throne, and that's it.
Huh.
Yeah, it's got problems, a lot of problems, and I'm sure there's, like, more to it, because there's a lot of stuff about, like, including the manga version of Ichigo in this movie, and I'm like, okay, I'm sure there's more to this movie that I don't catch, because I'm not really paying attention to this movie, because I don't care, and then just the things that I see that are obvious just piss me off enough to where I'm like, you know what, fuck this movie. I don't care. This is not a good movie at all. This has not been a good series of movies. Fucking Drive Gaim was about 10 times better than this, in the Gaim portion alone. Before we even, like, add in the Drive portion and the team-up portion. Like, the Gaim portion trumps this movie by miles. Because that third of a movie was bold enough to go, yeah, Kota is Gain. Yeah, Gain is the star of the series. But we're taking him out. And this is Takatora and Michi's time to shine. They are the heroes of this portion of the movie. And we follow them for most of that part. So, yeah. And this movie just... it's just not that good. I don't think it's offensive. Unless there's something there I'm missing. Which, fuck, it probably is if Shinta's gonna be ranting on it for 2.5 hours. Which I think the movie's only an hour and a half. So who knows? I don't care about GP at all. It's got a good song, and that's about the best thing I can say about it, outside of Sango looks cool. Sango looks cool, the Tricyclone looks cool. I like Who's That Guy, but I don't give a shit about this movie, and I don't give a shit about Sango as a character. Because they can't decide on what Sango is, so I don't care. Sango needs to be a good guy or a bad guy, and if he's neither, I don't give a shit. Because there's no good blend of the two. Anyway. Because next week we're going to be picking up more Go Busters. I don't have the episode list up, so I can't tell you what the next episodes are. Besides, hey, Yuji's going to have his weak point targeted by some fan bot and other stuff. So yeah. Till next week, that'll do it for
Rapid Epsilon.
I'm Pixpector2448 saying good night, everybody. We'll see you on the next round of the game of Swing Rift Drex. Peace out.
Don't forget to click the links in the top and the bottom and check out the other shows we do in the annotations. Also, for those on mobile, you can find all the links in the description below. Till next time.